How we doing, guys? Myself, Chris Pretty, OBE, hitting you a quick one. Real talk, true season. Don't worry, I'll wait. And this is the reasons why I say the justice system doesn't work, guys. How can a young boy be running down the road with a big boy knife in his hand, stab a young boy to death, and get 6.5 years? Don't worry, I'll wait. Make it make sense to me. This is the reasons why I say the sentences needs to be higher when it comes down to knife crime. The sentences needs to be higher when it comes down to sex crime. The sentences needs to be higher in general. And these are the kind of times when, how can you sit there as a parent and feel like you have justice? Your child that you brought into this world has been taken away from you, and then that child gets 6.5 years. Now, I don't always believe sending kids to prison for 25 to life, because everyone makes the mistakes. Maybe he can come back into the society and be a great part of the society, but let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it facts. 9 times out of 10, when our kids go into prison, they come out worse off. Don't worry, I'll wait. I say it again. 9 times out of 10, when our kids go into prison, they come out worse off. And it starts from the schooling system. When I put up the rule in the sense of the schooling system, teachers want to leave. These are all the rest of it. When they always say that schooling now is a gateway to prison, because in the sense of they go to school, they get suspended. Once they get suspended, they're on the route to people referral units. Once they get into people referral units, they end up in prison. Once they end up in prison, what you think they're going to come out and be a great citizen or great part of the society, when they feel like there were so many things that never got done. There were so many things in the sense of their parents might have not been in the sense of having no support. The school didn't understand in the sense of schemes and programs that they might have been able to deliver to these young people. So my whole thing is right now, this young boy is 15, 16. He was a schoolboy running around with a knife. The concern's already there. Parents is already there. The concern's already there. We can't sit there and be like, oh, we don't know how this happens. Right now, there was no schemes put in place. The young person didn't have no boundaries. The fact that he thought that he can run around with a knife at the age of 15 concerns me. What's going on behind closed doors? Is his dad around? Is his dad not around? Is his dad selling drugs or on the streets as well? Is his mum entertaining these kind of activities when he's coming home smoking drugs, coming home with stolen goods? What you got there, son? These kind of things happen on a day-to-day basis. It's happening in schools. Certain teachers are getting to a stage where they're sick and tired of parenting your children. So that's the reasons why they're getting to a stage where they want to leave. But my whole thing is now, when it comes down to justice, what is fair justice anymore? Do we believe that the sentences should be higher no matter what? Because children need to understand the consequences of their actions, and taking a life, it should be a life for a life. I believe it should be a life for a life, because these are the kind of times when kids are running around getting points. Man's talking about, yeah, man dip, man, yeah. Man's got lives and badges on his belt because he's taken a life, and he's got 6.5 years. He probably do 3.5, 4 years on good behavior and come out and think like it's okay. These are the kind of times where it worries me. These are the kind of times when it puts us into situations when we're seeing knife crime, when we're seeing some of these kids get 25 to life, 18 years, and all the rest of it. We've got young boys, and we can sit them and be like, Chris, this is really, really bad. Like, that is not going to even help them anyway, giving them the 18 years. But what is going to get that young person justice? What is going to get that family justice? What is going to make that family feel safe, that they can continue with their life? What if they've got other children in that area? How does that child feel? Do they feel safe? Do they have mental problems now? Do they have anxiety? We've got to think about this. There's so many people that get affected when young people die. Not just the young person, not just their friends, not just their family, but the borough, the community as a whole. And these are the kind of times when we've got Metropolitan Police and we feel like we can't trust them with the child queue situation where they're stopping the search. All ground access right now. Okay, all ground access because we need to stop young people like this, because they're the ones that are running around on the streets with a knife. But it's a catch-22, guys. We can't complain at the police in the sense of stopping and search, but at the same time, we don't want to stop and search our own children. We don't want to put that installation on our own children. It's like we've got to a society. Let's just keep it real. We've got to a society where we rather the government, we rather teachers, we rather police, parent our children. And we sit there and say, but what do you want us to do? And it's like, you can't rely on the government to parent your children. You can't rely on the school to parent your children. You can't rely on the police to parent your children. And you've allowed everybody to take so much access away from you, to a point even your child looks at you and said, shut up, man, what are you going to do? Google says I can do this. Social services say I can do this. The government say I can do that. You can't touch me. You can't do nothing. Do what I like. And then when they start creating that understanding where they have no boundaries, you're sitting there and you have to put them into homes. There's so many parents that I've spoken to and they said, Chris, I couldn't control him anymore. I gave him up to the government. And we don't even realize when we've got our birth certificate and everything, they're already owned by the government. So the government's happy to take them, happy to give them money, happy to put them in housing and child support and all the rest of it. How many children come out all the time with child support and come out better? Because they don't know what to do. Some of them, they don't have kids. Some of them are just working. So once it gets to 9 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whenever their job ends, they're like, yo, see you later, big man. He's still got problems. He's still got issues. This is a real problem, guys. And when I'm seeing these kids running around the streets, I do believe their sentences should be a life for life. I do believe that sentences for carrying a knife should be a lot more higher. I do believe that we need to start controlling our community, like community patrol. Like we said, big up to them, man, over there. We need to start communicating and understanding our real problem, because we are the village and they're our children. They're our children, they're our lives, and these are our kids that we are losing. What's you guys' thoughts? Comment below.